The vast chamber of the Galactic Council hummed with the quiet murmurs of 500 representatives from across the known universe. The dome-shaped ceiling offered an unobstructed view of the cosmos, stars twinkling like silent observers of the proceedings below. Species of all forms, crystalline beings that shimmered with internal light, gaseous entities contained in specialized suits, and more humanoid creatures with varying anatomical features, sat in concentric rings around a central platform. Ambassador Maya Harrison of Earth stood tall at the podium, her diplomatic uniform crisp against her dark skin. Behind her, Admiral Rajiv Solari maintained a stoic expression, though his eyes betrayed concern. The rest of the Earth delegation remained seated, their faces a mixture of determination and apprehension. For 90 years, Earth had endured increasingly unfair regulations. What had begun as a celebrated entry into the interstellar community in 2097 had devolved into a relationship where humanity found itself consistently disadvantaged. Resource allocation, technological sharing protocols, colonial expansion rights, all were governed by laws that seemed designed to keep Earth subordinate to the older, more established species. Maya's gaze swept across the chamber, taking in the representatives of civilizations thousands of years older than human spacefaring history. The Torlak Imperium's delegates, with their stone-like skin and glowing yellow eyes, watched her with particular intensity. The Draxian High Counselor, a being of semi-translucent flesh, revealing a complex internal nervous system, leaned forward in anticipation. The year was 2197, marking a century since Earth had joined the Galactic Council with such hope and optimism. Today would mark a very different milestone. Esteemed members of the Council, Maya began, her voice carrying through the chamber with surprising strength. For 100 years, humanity has contributed to this collective, offering our innovations, our perspectives, and our goodwill. For 100 years, we have abided by regulations that have consistently favored established powers while restricting Earth's growth and development. Murmurs rippled through the assembly. Maya paused, allowing the translation systems to catch up for all species present. We have submitted 17 formal petitions for regulatory reform in the past decade alone. All 17 have been denied or indefinitely delayed. Her voice remained steady, but now carried an edge of steel. Therefore, it is my duty to inform this Council that, as of this moment, Earth officially withdraws its membership from the Galactic Council. The chamber erupted. Maya stood unflinching as shouts, clicks, and various communication methods from different species created a cacophony of protest. At the center of the chamber, Earth's light cube, the physical representation of their membership, dimmed and went dark. The Torlak representative's gravelly voice cut through the noise. "This is unprecedented. No species has ever withdrawn once accepted." "Perhaps that speaks to the nature of the Council itself," Maya replied evenly. The Draxian High Counselor rose, neural pathways visibly pulsing with agitation beneath translucent skin. "Ambassador Harrison, surely you understand the implications? Earth's technologies are integrated throughout Council systems. Withdrawal will cause immeasurable disruption." "We are well aware." Admiral Solari spoke for the first time, his voice commanding attention. "Those systems were built with Earth's innovation, yet we've been denied equal voice in their governance." Maya nodded. "For decades, we've been treated as useful contributors without equal standing. That ends today." The Council Arbiter, an ancient being from one of the founding species, raised a limb for silence. "Ambassador, this body formally requests Earth reconsider this action. The protocols for withdrawal have never been implemented." "Then I suggest you begin drafting them," Maya replied. "Our decision is final." With that, the Earth delegation rose as one and began their exit from the chamber. Various representatives called out, some pleading, others threatening, but the humans maintained their dignified departure. As they reached the exit portal, Maya turned for one final look at the council chamber. The Earth's darkened cube seemed to leave a conspicuous void in the otherwise illuminated array of member worlds. "It is done," she said quietly to Solari as they boarded their shuttle to return to the Earth flagship, waiting at the Orion Station docking bay. "No," the Admiral replied, his eyes meeting hers. "It has only begun." The Earth delegation departed Orion Station amid a flurry of diplomatic communiques demanding their return. None were acknowledged. As their vessels pulled away, the first subtle changes in the station's operations were already beginning. Minor fluctuations in navigation systems, slight delays in atmospheric processing, seeds of what would soon blossom into chaos. 6 months after Earth's withdrawal, the first major crisis struck the galactic community. The technology storm, as it would later be called, began not with a bang, but with a series of escalating malfunctions across Council space. The sophisticated AI systems, managing everything from transportation to healthcare to financial transactions, many built on Earth origin algorithms and hardware, began experiencing unexplained inefficiencies. On Orion Station, the central hub of galactic governance, environmental systems fluctuated unpredictably. Gravity plating in the Torlax section failed for 6 hours. Communication arrays experienced random outages. The Council's official position was that these were merely technical glitches being addressed. But the frequency and scope of failures told a different story. Admiral Solari stood before a holographic display aboard the Earth flagship Tenacity, watching real-time reports of system failures throughout Council space. "It's happening faster than we anticipated," noted Lieutenant Commander Kwan, the ship's operations officer. "They've become more dependent on our technologies than even we realized," Solari replied. "For decades, Earth engineers were tasked with building and maintaining critical infrastructure, but denied access to policy decisions about how those systems would be used. The backdoor protocols are functioning as designed," reported Lieutenant Santos from her station. "We're receiving telemetry from all primary systems. Phase 1 is complete." Solari nodded grimly. "Begin Phase 2. Across Council space, Earth civilian vessels found themselves denied docking privileges at stations and colonies. Trade routes established over decades suddenly closed to human ships. Earth colonies faced embargoes on essential supplies. The Council's retribution was swift but predictable. What they hadn't predicted was how prepared Earth would be. On Kara Prime, a mid-sized agricultural colony in a system controlled by the Draxian Confederation, the effects were particularly severe. The colony, home to 17 species, including a small human population, relied on regular supply shipments and Council medical facilities. Leo Martinez, a civilian transport pilot, had been making the Earth to Kara Prime run for 15 years. Now his ship, the Mariposa, orbited the colony, unable to land, despite carrying critical medical supplies. "This is civilian transport Mariposa to Kara Prime Control," Leo transmitted for the 3rd time. "We are carrying approved medical supplies for the northern settlement. Request immediate landing clearance." The response came back in the clipped tones of a Draxian official. "Negative, Mariposa. By order of the Galactic Council, all Earth vessels are denied landing privileges until further notice." Leo slammed his hand against the console in frustration. "There are children down there who need these medications." No response came. In his cargo hold, vaccines and treatments for a respiratory condition affecting multiple species sat in temperature-controlled containers. Without them, the outbreak already spreading through Kara Prime would continue unchecked. "Mariposa to any Earth diplomatic channels." Leo tried a different approach. "We have a humanitarian situation developing on Kara Prime. Requesting intervention." Hours later, Leo received encrypted coordinates and instructions. Under cover of Kara Prime's largest moon, the Mariposa rendezvoused with 3 small, unmarked vessels. Leo transferred the medical supplies, which would be smuggled to the surface by sympathetic local pilots. This scene repeated itself across dozens of colonies and stations. Earth supplies continued to reach those in need through an underground network that had been established long before the withdrawal. What appeared to the Council as chaos was, in many ways, carefully orchestrated resistance. At Proxima 7, a research station specializing in xenobiology, the situation grew dire. The station's artificial ecosystem, supporting specimens from hundreds of worlds, began failing as the environmental controls designed by Earth scientists deteriorated without proper maintenance. Dr. Elena Sullivan, Earth's foremost expert on neural space technology, had not been on Earth when the withdrawal occurred. She now found herself trapped on Proxima 7, one of few humans remaining in Council space, watching as years of research faced destruction. "The century coral synthesis is failing," she informed the station director, a Torlac scientist named Ket. "Without the specialized algorithms to maintain water chemistry, we'll lose the entire colony within days." Ket's stone-like features remained impassive, but his voice betrayed concern. "The Council has promised replacement systems within the month." "The coral will be dead in a week," Elena replied flatly. "And it's not just the coral. The atmospheric balance in sections 3 through 17 is becoming unstable. The neural network managing cross-species contamination protocols is operating at 60% efficiency and declining." "What would you have me do, Dr. Sullivan?" Ket demanded. "Your world has abandoned their responsibilities." Elena's eyes flashed. "After being denied our rights for decades. But this isn't about politics. This is about preserving irreplaceable life forms and research." That night, Elena used her still-functioning personal communication device to contact Earth through channels unknown to the station's monitoring systems. 3 days later, a maintenance update mysteriously uploaded to the station's systems, stabilizing the most critical functions. No one questioned how it had bypassed Council security protocols. 1 year after Earth's withdrawal, the situation had reached critical mass. What had begun as inconveniences had cascaded into a full humanitarian crisis across multiple systems. Council space, once a model of efficiency and cooperation, now struggled with failing infrastructure, supply shortages, and growing civil unrest. On Jupiter Station, converted from one of the gas giant's moons into Earth's primary diplomatic outpost, Maya Harrison called an emergency conference. Representatives from 32 species, all facing hardships due to the escalating situation, had accepted the invitation despite Council prohibitions against official contact with Earth. "We did not make this decision lightly," Maya addressed the gathered delegates in Jupiter Station's central chamber. "For generations, humanity contributed our best technologies, our finest minds, and our most innovative solutions to Council projects. In return, we were consistently denied equal standing." A representative from the Alteran Dominion, a species of avian ancestry, rose to speak. "Ambassador Harrison, while many of us sympathize with Earth's grievances, the current situation cannot continue. On my homeworld, medical facilities are operating at minimal capacity. Transport systems are increasingly unreliable. The Council blames Earth sabotage." "Not sabotage," Maya corrected firmly. "Withdrawal of ongoing support. There's an important distinction. Earth engineers and scientists designed and maintained these systems under agreements that have now been terminated. We offered transition protocols that would have prevented this crisis, but the Council rejected them." The Draxian representative, a junior diplomat named Velex, spoke next. "The High Council demands Earth return all proprietary technologies and provide access codes to restore functionality." Admiral Solari stepped forward. "Those technologies were developed by Earth. The Council's demand is equivalent to asking us to surrender our sovereignty. We will not do so." As the debate continued, tensions rose. The Torlac Imperium's representative demanded punitive action against Earth. The Draxian, called for military intervention to seize control of Earth's technological infrastructure. Smaller, less powerful species caught in the middle pleaded for compromise. Away from the public conference, in a secure chamber, deep within Jupiter Station. Dr. Elena Sullivan was meeting with a select group of scientists and engineers from various worlds. Together, they were finalizing what Elena had codenamed the Recovery Network, a comprehensive system designed to support critical life-sustaining infrastructure throughout affected space. The neural space interface is stable, Elena explained to the assembled experts. Once activated, it will bypass council control systems and restore essential functions to medical facilities, environmental systems, and basic transportation grids. "Won't the council detect this intrusion?" asked a Centauri physicist. "Not if implemented correctly," Elena replied. "The system is designed to appear as if the original Earth components have self-repaired through redundancy protocols. Nothing new is being introduced. We're simply reactivating dormant systems already in place." "And Earth approves this action?" questioned a Proxima engineer. "It seems contrary to your withdrawal strategy." Elena's expression grew solemn. "This isn't about politics. This is about preventing suffering. Ambassador Harrison and Admiral Solari have authorized this humanitarian intervention while political negotiations continue." As the scientific team finalized their preparations, the diplomatic conference reached its inevitable impasse. The Council's most powerful members remained unwilling to recognize Earth as an equal partner deserving of fair treatment. The stage was set for the next phase of the conflict. 2 years after Earth's withdrawal, the situation had evolved from crisis to new equilibrium. The Recovery Network, secretly implemented throughout Council space, had prevented the worst humanitarian disasters. Essential services functioned at basic levels, though the golden age of seamless galactic integration was clearly over. The Council, recognizing they could neither force Earth's return nor fully compensate for the loss of human expertise, had begun developing alternative systems, a process that would take decades to complete. Meanwhile, Earth had established independent trade agreements with numerous worlds and species, creating a parallel economic network outside Council control. Maya Harrison once again stood in Jupiter Station's Grand Chamber, now expanded and renovated to host what would be the most significant diplomatic event since Earth's withdrawal. Representatives from over 200 worlds, both Council members and independent systems, had gathered for what was being called the Second Jupiter Conference. 2 years ago, Earth took a stand against a system that denied us equal rights and fair treatment. Maya began. Today, we offer a path forward, not back to the old council with its hierarchies and inequalities, but toward a new alliance based on genuine cooperation and mutual respect. The Torlak representative, the same stony-faced diplomat who had opposed Earth at every turn, rose to speak. "Earth's actions have caused incalculable hardship across galactic space. Now you speak of cooperation while holding our vital systems hostage." Maya's expression remained calm. "We hold nothing hostage. We simply stopped providing free services without equal voice. But today, we offer a choice." With a gesture, she activated a holographic display showing a comprehensive treaty document. The Jupiter Accords propose a new framework for interstellar cooperation, equal representation for all signatory worlds, transparent technology sharing with fair compensation for innovation, mutual defense, and open trade routes. Most importantly, no species will hold undue influence over others. The Draxian High Counselor, attending in person rather than sending a junior representative, rose slowly. "And if we decline these terms?" Admiral Solari stepped forward. "Then Earth will permanently transfer all system controls back to the Council, after removing our proprietary technologies. You will need to rebuild from fundamental principles, a process your own experts estimate would take 50 to 70 years." The threat was clear, but remained unstated. Without Earth's cooperation, the Torlak life support systems would fail within a generation. The Draxian trade networks would collapse. Dozens of terraformed colonies would become uninhabitable as their environmental systems degraded beyond repair. A tense silence filled the chamber as the implications settled over the assembled representatives. "The old council is dead," Maya stated simply. "It died the moment Earth withdrew and exposed how fragile a system built on inequality truly is. We offer a new beginning, an alliance of equals working together for mutual benefit." The debate that followed lasted 3 days. Accusations flew. Historical grievances were aired. Threats were made and withdrawn. Throughout it all, the Earth delegation remained steadfast in their position: equality or independence. On the 4th day, the Alteran representative broke the deadlock. "My world will sign the Jupiter Accords. We have seen enough suffering." One by one, smaller worlds followed suit. Then mid-tier powers. Finally, facing a complete reorganization of galactic politics that would leave them isolated, the Torlak Imperium and Draxian Confederation reluctantly agreed to the terms. Maya Harrison stood upon the speaker's platform, surveying the chamber as representatives from across the galaxy came forward to add their signatures or equivalent markers to the Jupiter Accords. "The age of the Council has ended," she declared. "Welcome to the era of the new alliance." In the 5 years that followed the signing of the Jupiter Accords, a remarkable transformation took place throughout what had once been Council space. Earth medical teams were dispatched to struggling colonies to restore healthcare systems. Engineering corps helped rebuild failing infrastructure. Trade routes reopened under new, equitable agreements. The former Council headquarters at Orion Station underwent a symbolic redesign. The hierarchical chamber with its concentric rings was demolished and replaced with a circular forum where all representatives sat at equal elevation. The array of light cubes representing member worlds was replaced with a holographic stellar map where each world pulsed with equal brightness. Dr. Elena Sullivan, whose recovery network had saved countless lives during the transition, now headed the Alliance Science Directorate, a collaborative research body with representatives from all member species. Under her leadership, the focus shifted from technological hoarding to shared innovation. Admiral Solari oversaw the integration of independent defense forces into a unified Alliance protection fleet, ensuring no single world could dominate militarily as the Council's founding species once had. Leo Martinez, once a simple transport pilot, found himself appointed Director of Humanitarian Operations, coordinating relief efforts throughout Alliance space. His experiences, smuggling medical supplies during the crisis, had given him unique insight into the needs of diverse communities. On the 5th anniversary of the Jupiter Accords, Maya Harrison stood alone in her office aboard the newly commissioned Alliance headquarters. Through the viewport, she could see Earth, blue and serene against the blackness of space. So much had been risked. So much had been gained. A soft chime announced a visitor. "Enter," she called. The door slid open to reveal a Torlak diplomat, not the harsh representative who had opposed Earth at every turn, but a younger member of the species. "Ambassador Harrison." The Torlak greeted her with the new Alliance salute, right hand open and extended, symbolizing transparency and cooperation. "Ambassador Kett," Maya returned the gesture. "What brings you here on this anniversary day?" "Reflection," the stone-faced diplomat replied. "My predecessor believed your actions were motivated by human ambition and desire for power. I have come to understand they were motivated by something else entirely. Justice," Maya said simply. "Equal treatment, fair partnership. Concepts my species has taken for granted from our position of privilege," Kett acknowledged. "The new alliance has taught us much." Maya turned back to the viewport, gazing at Earth. "We have all learned difficult lessons. Now we build something better together." As Kett departed, Maya remained at the viewport, watching as a transport vessel departed for distant worlds. Its hull bore the symbol of the new alliance, a circle of stars connected by lines representing the equal relationships between them. So different from the hierarchical emblem of the old council. In withdrawing from an unjust system, Earth had indeed thrown the universe into temporary chaos. But from that chaos had emerged something stronger, fairer, and more sustainable. Not dominance by any single power, but genuine partnership among the stars. Maya smiled as cherry blossoms floated in the hydroponics garden visible below her office, symbols of renewal and hope. The journey had been difficult, but the new era had truly begun. The universe had fallen into chaos. But from that chaos, a more perfect order had emerged.